I'm Ryan James, founder of Philippine VA Pros, and today I'm excited to tell you a little bit about my story and about how the Philippine VA Pros can help you take your business to the next level. So first, a little bit about my background. I own different businesses, and my primary company that I had through COVID was at that time growing, which was a good thing. But I was unable to find people to work during COVID because of all the stimulus. Nobody really wanted to work, and my company was growing. So I'd known about using virtual workers before, but it just seemed complicated, and it wasn't really something I'd wanted to do. But now I wasn't able to find anybody to work locally. So I decided to give it a try, and I did some research, and I learned about the Philippine culture and how to recruit from the Philippines. And so then posted some jobs out on the job board, did my interview process, and ended up hiring someone who turned out to be a rock star. And I was extremely pleased with the work ethic, the hard work she was willing to put forth. And let's not forget that the economies are very different. And so I was able to find someone to work for a few dollars an hour versus at the time I couldn't find anyone to work for $30 an hour. This is a basic administration job. We're talking answering the phone and setting appointments for our clients as they called in and just doing some scheduling. So it was a pretty basic job, and to pay someone $30 an hour just seemed a little ridiculous at the time. And so I was very happy with that. Not to mention, I'm probably the hardest worker that I've had work for my company yet. And she caught on quickly, and I was very pleased. So when it was time to hire for more positions as we grew, I started posting both the US and the Philippines just to see what would happen. And I found such better, stronger candidates from the Philippines, not to mention the huge cost savings, that I ended up growing my team further using workers from the Philippines. I told my other entrepreneur friends about my success, and they all wanted to do it, but we're kind of in the same situation as I was previously. It was just something that was different. They didn't want to learn it. They didn't want to, go outside their comfort zone. So I said, hey, how about I do this for you for a nominal fee? And they all agreed. And Philippine VA Pros, for Philippine Virtual Assistant Professionals, was hatched. And so now today I am excited to talk to business owners such as yourself and provide ways to help you scale your business that was previously pretty challenging. At least it was for me and a lot of other folks I've talked to. So we're going to kind of jump into what does it look like when you hire us to help you recruit a virtual assistant or virtual worker, as I like to call them. So day one is going to consist of an onboarding. We're going to do a discovery call with you. We're going to learn about your company, where you came from, where you're at today, where you want to go, because those things influence the position that you're going to have. And of course, we want to talk a lot about what you want this worker to do for your company. We want to find a worker who's going to be someone who's going to have a strong skill set that's consistent with your job position, but we also want someone who is going to want to learn and grow as your company grows. And so that's what we're really focusing on the first day. We're going to have you sign our contract and that kind of thing as well. And then from there, we're going to build out the job post. We're going to put advertisements out through different social media outlets. And, this is going to be all focused in the Philippines with our Filipino recruiters who work for us. They're going to be reviewing resumes and conducting interviews. Once we've gone through the screening process and we've conducted those interviews, we're going to find the person who we think is going to be a great fit for you. And we're going to present that person to you either through an interview that you can do or just an introduction, whichever you prefer. I recommend an interview. And then that person is going to start the onboarding process with you. And so we do have some minimum requirements that you review some tips for success that we have. And we do require that Just like any employee that you're going to hire, even locally, you do have an onboarding process and some sort of a training process, because the only way that this person is going to be successful, whether they're virtual or working locally with you, is if they have a clear understanding of what their job is and what your company is all about. From there, we're going to follow the performance of your virtual assistant for the first 60 days to make sure that this person is in fact a good fit, make sure there aren't any hiccups along the way, basically holding your hand, holding their hand to make sure that everything is going smoothly. And we do that through what we believe is a very easy process, and that's a very brief Google survey form that we're going to send to you and your virtual assistant every week. And we do expect that those get filled out. And then from there, you're going to have what we believe is going to be an outstanding relationship with a new virtual worker who will become part of your work family, just like your local workers do. So what types of jobs, here's a quick question, what types of jobs can you hire as a virtual assistant? These are some of the jobs that we have working for us with my other companies. So we do our social media marketing through a virtual worker. We have a different virtual worker who answers our phones, who does our data entry for us, who sets our appointments. We have a team of virtual workers who do cold calling for us. We handle our project management through virtual workers, our customer support, our operations management, HR. I mean, there really is anything that you can do from a desk, you can use a virtual worker to do. And oftentimes people are asking me, what kinds of jobs can I get my virtual worker to do? And these are literally jobs that my other company has where we use virtual workers, and we use the virtual workers for Philippine VA pros in these same areas. So what makes us different? Well, one is we are a virtual assistant recruiting company. And the recruiting company is the big difference, because a lot of companies out there are just kind of what we call plug and play outsourcing company, or maybe like a staffing company, where you call them up or go online, you sign up, and they give you this virtual assistant who's going to be able to do some menial tasks. We take the time to understand your business and the position that you want to fill and your culture. Then we're going to recruit the best fitting virtual assistant out there who will be a good fit. Once they are placed with you, they are your employee. Now, keep in mind, they're not an employee in the traditional sense of W-2 or 1099, but they're, for all intents and purposes, they're going to work for you like any other employee would. They want to work with you for the long haul, unlike the outsourcing companies where the virtual assistant works for that outsourcing company. And as long as you're paying that outsourcing company, you can use their virtual assistant. And sometimes that virtual assistant may change overnight or unexpectedly, but that's because that relationship with that virtual assistant is with the outsourcing company, and your relationship is also with the outsourcing company. With us, your relationship is directly with the virtual assistant. So you're going to train your virtual assistant however you feel is best, however is going to suit your company the best. You're going to pay them directly, which means that that virtual assistant is going to get 100% of everything that you give them, unlike the outsourcing companies that skim a large chunk of that off. So the cost to you are going to be very, very low. Instead of paying an outsourcing company $9 to $15 an hour, you're going to be paying your VA directly, maybe $5 or $6 an hour. Your virtual assistant is going to be getting paid more in this fashion because they only get about $3 or so working for those other outsourcing companies. So as we mentioned a little bit more about pay, you pay your VA directly. This means they're going to get 100% of the pay that you give them. And based on our research of a lot of different outsourcing companies out there, they're going to maybe get paid 30% or less of what you're paying. The company is going to actually go to your VA. And as I mentioned, because you pay them directly, you pay less overall out of your pocket, and which is going to save you money. And because you pay them directly, they get more money. So you have complete control over the pay increases, additional incentives, vacation time, however you want to incentivize this worker, just like any other employee with your company, you're going to have that control with using our recruiting service. I wanted to share this slide just to show kind of the differences in costs that you're looking at. Now, we used a resource online to see what the average annual pay, both annual, monthly, and hourly is from using an administrative assistant or data entry. You can see it ranges anywhere from $20 to $31 an hour using US workers. Using workers from the Philippines, you're looking at anywhere from $4 to maybe $10 an hour. So huge savings there for you. I'm not a CPA. I have talked to a lot of CPAs about this and in a formal environment. And the last 4 I spoke to all assured me that you would basically put this on your books as an outside service. But I strongly recommend you talk to your own CPA on how to do this. I know that the CPAs I've spoken to tell me that you don't pay employment tax on this either because these aren't W-2 employees. These are workers from the Philippines. They are not going to have social security numbers. So it's basically just an outside service that you're using. Again, consult your own CPA on how to properly do that. That's the information that I've been given to by a number of CPAs. So the thing that differentiates us from others, most importantly, is going to be that we care about the connections that we're making. The person we place with you is someone who is looking to work hard for you in order to make a better life for themselves and their families. They are not just a number. Also, we care about businesses we work with. I am an entrepreneur. I have a strong passion for business, and I love helping people with their businesses. I love brainstorming with people, and this has just worked very well for me because I feel this is a great way to scale your business and to help you take your business to the next level. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of what you can expect from Philippine VA pros, as well as demonstrating through the VAs that we have working for us. We're entirely run by virtual assistants from the Philippines, of what you might be able to expect with your business. Thank you so much for a little bit of your time, and I hope you have great success with your business and great success in scaling your business with a virtual worker from Philippine VA pros.